4 ensues, where Alien's also been forced off of his position, will be able to re-peek back out, backs off, and Nickelback in the meanwhile is being given the shooting range for himself.
And that's kneeling to 7-4 Winstrike. Pretty decent start to the half, but you also have to keep in mind that Train is a pretty CT-sided map. That being said, Syman obviously want to take the scoreline as close as possible, and it does seem like they have the tools ready for it. They should have a very comfortable buy, but with Mo being on the AWP means that they have to forfeit quite a bit of utility. 4 smokes, so there's that, but they're also missing out on quite a bit of mollies. Not many flashbangs to work off of, so they might have to go for a bit of an early play or not use utility early on. Prison playing that very close angle, but with the way that Mo is playing, oh, there's no high ripples just yet. Alien, he spots a player, and the flashbang will not be there to phase him. Norbert has fallen, and that allows Prison the mobility to start pushing up. He comes around the corner, and since he has a bomb out, he gets caught out. Mo immediately able to get the refrag, but that's the man disadvantage.
Oh, Bondek. What are we looking for from you? He's been very good on short ladder, but so far it's been all Alien's show. Nickelback has had some opening performances there and there. He's had a quick few verses in his rap album, but it largely has been Alien. Lackey, in the meanwhile, pushing forward, trying to find some information, will be able to do so. Nicely done, and Kios will go down. Lackey even repositions behind the generator, so he can now swing out yet again to provide even more information and some damage to go with. This time, Mo and K, they want to speed things up just a little bit, but with the AWP in the hands of Mo, he really wants to be able to play for picks. Unfortunately, picks are not going to be easy to find when Alien's on the other side of that duel. Flashbang goes forward. Alien's got the first. He'll be re-peeking out soon, but before that can happen, his leader will be able to decapacitate Mo. And look at this from Alien, man. 14 kills in 12 rounds. Nickelback as well, sitting on a similar number, but Nickelback was so many multi-kill rounds, and I don't want to take anything away from him. Alien's just been opening things up every single time, it seems like.
Oh, yeah. There is no doubt that Alien is the game changer here. But still, I'm still going to say hats off to Nickelback, because it's understandably very difficult as a stand-in to be putting up performances like this. And what we said in the pregame was that we saw Nickelback pop off against these Akko boards, but that's something that's highly difficult to replicate. That's still coming through, though, especially as far as we can see. But there's still a long day to go. It's not over just yet, and Syman, they're just starting to get warmed up. Alien, meanwhile, though, I'm not going to take any credit away from what you highlighted. He's definitely been the one that has gotten those opening kills. Can he keep up the pace, though? Syman slowly starting to take control towards inner. Not much weaponry to go off of because they do have deagles all across the board. Mo choosing to not get anything so he can buy up that AWP later. Being very careful with his money here. Syman, they don't even have a single flashbang, which is what's worrying. Generally, when you see them buy up 4 deagles, you'd want them to have a flashbang, but K doesn't care about that. He's got the opening pick, but Kristen immediately responds. Second kill comes through. Nealon picks up a deagle kill of his own, and that's the 3 versus 3 retake starting to come through.
Oh, Lackey comes in. Great shot to start things off. Secondary leads up as well, but Nealon is brought down immediately, and the 3 versus 3 retake is a
pretty much a 1v3.
Lot less exciting than what we thought it would be.
Yeah, Lackey just cleaned house there, making it to the 9th round on the board for Winstrike, and now they're just 1 away from double digits. Syman, they're no slouches either, though, because they are already on 4 points, and should they be able to get 6, they would be on a comfortable half. That being said, with the way that Alien's been able to get these opening kills, I think that is still quite a tough ask. Mo needs to be stepping up now with that AWP in his hands.
Mo needed to step up a few rounds ago. If he can do it now, that would be a nice little addition. Nades, Molotovs, everything flying through towards T-Connector will ensure that the CTs have some temporary solace from there. And it means that should Pop Dog be the destination, the CTs should have a fairly good idea that this is to come. You can already see Nickelback having cheated over towards the B bomb site. Alien on IV, for once not where all the action is going to be, for once not where the opening kill can feasibly come out of, considering Kios' defensive positioning, but Alien is in pursuit. Meanwhile, Mo somewhat reveals his position, and that prompts Bondic to put 2 players inside Pop Dog. Alien, how the hell does he do that, man? Kios is all the way in T-spawn. He butches out of Ivy, finds that first kill, wants to continue that streak of form. Bondic is able to come through with a failed flashbang as Cade will fall. Very nice positioning from him to allow that to happen, as Lackey will now be staring down with Highway.
And now they're just walking in dry. Crizzen is able to get that first kill. Lackey, with his AUG, will be taking advantage of those long-range duels, and that's a pretty easy round for Winstrike. And there's the highlight again. Alien is able to get that first pick so easily.
It's such a ridiculous situation.
That's what Winstrike has been playing off of the back of. Had he been able to do that yesterday, I think we would have seen an even more convincing game than what we already saw from Winstrike. Sure, the second map was overtime, but you saw what a bloodbath the first map was in the form of Vertigo. That being said, we do have a much more important game now on our hands, as these are the semifinals, and Winstrike have already gone to double digits. Syman only on 4, and it'll be very difficult for them to come back from this, should this go to 11 for Winstrike. Alien not quite hitting the shot this time around. Smoke rolls out, slowing the pace of Syman.
Lackey can't push in for once, so the T-side Molotovs are actually going to be able to make up for the fact that we've seen so many times that Lackey just comes in, camps down over towards T-Connector and just has infinite amounts of information. But now the smoke response that's there from the CTs is automatic. It honestly doesn't look like Nickelback's standing at all. He doesn't look like he's not integrated. He looks like he's been playing with this team for months, and it's really refreshing to see them being able to pull this off with him. But this is the last round, and Syman needs to get that 5th on the board. Nickelback will get some information about a player being over towards Whitehorse, but that player is just lying to him, essentially. He's immediately moved back. Nickelback will maintain his aggressive position. Because of that, faked out info, and Cade will take him down. Now, 5v4 with the T side coming in. There's 30 seconds on the clock, and it all comes down to Alien and Bondic. Can they stop the T's from entering onto the bomb site? Alien's got to play very close to his heart, and that's right in front of the bomb train. Bondic will go down to Norbert, and now it's a 3v4, quickly equalized off the back of Alien's AWP, but as quickly given up yet again from Kios and his AK.
Yeah, the bomb was dropped though, but being able to recover it, and the bomb is down now. Comes to a 2 versus 3. Alien, he's already picked up 2. Crizzen yet to find anything. Comes around the corner. Kios will not be found as he immediately responds to the information with his AK. Alien, 1-on-3. He'd have to get the ace clutch to be able to close this out. Very comfortable lead for Winstrike, but he's looking to sweeten the deal further. He knows the position of Kios. He just doesn't want to get immediately refragged. Hits the first shot. He's looking for the second. Hasn't spotted the player in the cubby just yet. Comes around the corner, but that's still not enough time. 10-5 in Syman. They're going to soften the load just a little bit. They're going to cushion their fall, but 10-5, still a commendable half from Winstrike.
Winstrike, in that particular round, actually got slightly fooled by Kios in his positioning, which is really interesting to see. Because when Kios was running up towards Whitehorse and he bunny hop forward, that gives Nickelback a false sense of security and B, a necessity to stay aggressive for information. So when that smoke is fading away, instead of backing off to a slightly more defensive angle behind the crate, Nickelback in T-Con just stares down towards T-spawn immediately, and he just gets eliminated there and then. Because of that, for once, the man advantage doesn't go to Syman early on, and the trades just can't be as effective. Now the CT side, Syman...
Wait, hold that thought. I'm sorry to cut you off, but why is Nickelback on a deagle? We've talked about this before. And well...
We'll find out, I suppose, because Neelan started things off with a USB pretty nicely. And that's definitely not a deagle, but Nickelback, nice little shot there, and a follow-up into Norbert's head. But unfortunately, it was through the corner of the green train wall. Because of that, Norbert can live a little while longer. Neelan comes in with another Bondic, does respond, and a 3v3 ensues.
Still a very comfortable spot for Winstrike to be in. Elian, he spotted Kiosk, but should he drop the bomb here? Oh, look at Nickelback. He's already picked up 2. And he also has information on the player going towards heaven. Kiosk loses life immediately, and that's just Norbert. Has yet to get a kill, and now he's getting slammed from all angles. There it is. Nickelback. Apparently when a deagle's in his hands, it doesn't matter if it's a P250, doesn't matter if it's a deagle. He gets the job done.
You know what, Nickelback, I'll let you get away with that one.
Yeah, if he gets the job done, we can't...
I'm not commenting in that case.
Can't really be saying anything about that.
Oh, yeah.
11-5, Winstrike. For Syman, that pistol round was so essential because they had the round deficit, because they're on the CT side. And now Winstrike, they've just cemented their lead further. Norbert already taking a little bit of damage to the early utility being thrown, and Winstrike will be holding on to their horses. They will take their time to clean out these angles because they don't want to run into a stack anytime soon. Prison, meanwhile, will slowly start to build up bank as he puts... Well, he starts lining his wallet just a little bit with the MAC-10, but he eventually gets taken down and will have to pay those medical fees. Bonding, on the other hand, will be putting another player in the hospital as he takes one down. Norbert and Nealon left with their pistols.
Well, not for long.
Yeah, of course.
Not for long. 12th round on the board for Winstrike, keeping things fresh and keeping things clean in the anti-eco is very important. Of course, they themselves were able to win an eco round in the first half, which was where the entire advent of their comeback, well, not really a comeback if you lost the pistol round, but the entire advent of their domination was precipitated off the back of. Now, Syman, no AWP, but so far their AWP has really not been paying off for them. Regardless, maybe a 5-rifle setup can come through to fruition, but I really wanted to see something. I honestly wanted to see an op from the hands of Elian. I wanted to see an op in Elian's hand. He's been doing so well so far, and I just thought it would have been a treat to be able to keep seeing that performance come through.
Yeah, but T-side dynamics for the AWP always going to be very different, which is why I'm a little sad that we don't get the opportunity to see Mo immediately on the AWP, but that's understandable because they aren't able to build up the economy for it. That being said, I was hoping for the refresher to come through. The side reset could have potentially meant that the AWP would finally come alive for Mo. They won't be given many opportunities, though, because they're only 4 rounds away from the victory. And that's sort of the danger that you lead yourself into if you lose the half 10-5 and still end up giving out the pistol. Winstrike, they haven't gotten any control just yet. The bomb is still dropped. They'll be taking their time. Nealon, first point of contact. Prison is just about to come around the corner. There's no flashbang primed either. Nealon, he looks away. He's worried about the flash, and that's 2 entries for Winstrike.
Well, oh, actually, never mind. Kiosk can't really find that kill. I thought Kiosk was in a great position with an off angle, but Prison immediately fires him down, and Mo, well, although he gets a quick headshot in, it doesn't look like there should be much he can do. Does take down Prison while I say that, so there is that. But unfortunately, with his teammate falling, a 1 versus 3 is unlikely at the best of times. And with an M4A1 with 3 different angles to contend with, it seems even more so. Mo will take down Elian, but finally, Lucky to peek out. I don't even know how Lucky peeks out, by the way. You've got 10 HP, Lucky. That is the opposite of the player I want to peek out. But hey, he makes it work.
That's the logic we stated earlier. 10 HP is kind of like 25 HP, which is also pretty close to 40 HP, and maybe that's around 80 HP. So yeah, I'm a full HP player. There we go. Let's go for the peak. And it worked out, so what are you going to say about that?
Good job. Don't do it again.
Yeah, as the
I feel like that's exactly what you're saying about that.
Winstrike, though, on the other hand, they have quite a bit to say as they've already gotten 13 rounds on the board. Syman on the pistols. Again, they had that one chance off of their rifles, but given their utility, given their economic position, immediately buying up means that now they're back on pistols. There's just so little breathing room for Syman to work off of. Mo already being down, they just have to go for a gamble here, and that's exactly what they're doing. There's 3 players set up towards B, so the read is good from Syman. They have a player towards short ladder as well to come out for the flank. Pop flash goes through, and now the entries will come through. Cade picks up one, but he immediately gets traded out. Norbert tries to chime in, and he does. Prison, though, running around the map with the MAC-10, is able to pick up 2 quick kills, and the flank will be thwarted as well. 14-5. Winstrike now only 2 rounds away from victory.
Let's also not forget that we predicted Syman to come through dominant in train.
And this
we
is
also
pick.
predicted Winstrike to dominate on Nuke. So things aren't looking too good for Syman at this point on their map pick, like you mentioned. So now you've got Prison on a MAC-10, which could end up being a little bit more deadly than you expect. He can actually go down to a speedway very fast, but the Molotovs will come through, prevent that from happening. Meanwhile, Kios and his potential aggression towards Ivy is just not going to be a thing. And with him now moving forward with Mo's backup, needs to be careful. Mo, in the meanwhile, very slim angle, and hopefully he can hit that shot, but so far he's not been having that great of a game while his teammates have already lost a lot of HP. Kios, however, comes in big, finds that first. Cade, on another side of the map, will be able to get another.
That's a great position for him to be playing too, because he's able to bait out the shot, and as soon as the shot is baited out from Mo, he's actually baiting the refragger to try to peek him, and because of the angle that he's in, it's a bit of an off angle as they're aiming for the AWP behind him. He's able to quickly clean house there, and that's the advantage for Syman. Winstrike, though, they're not quite out just yet, though. 3 on 5. Mo having repositioned to check the angle towards main. Nealon will fall as Prison gets the entry.
This is going to be... Oh no, Kios finds that kill. I thought Prison might be able to come through with the second one as well, but now Syman and a 4 versus 2 with knowledge of where the bomb is as well. When ЛАЙК throws out that flashbang, he picks up an AK instead. Will come through with a big one, but not enough ammo to feel comfortable swinging out for more, and Mo just takes him down. 15 seconds on the clock. Nickelback soon to fall, but wants to take as many people with him as humanly possible. He does have the bomb, but there's 8 seconds to go. He probably wants to go down for the lost bonus. Or does he? Seems like it's all going to be about the damage, but unfortunately, the damage does not come through. And Syman keep 3 players alive and 2 AWPs, so a pretty decent way to win out that round. Winstrike losing 2 players early on. Uncharacteristic, but that is what Syman needed.
Yeah, the double up being saved means that they're immediately able to drop another weapon, and that's a full buy for them. Not sacrificing any utility on the CT side, which is generally what you see, what you see when some damage pulls through. That was definitely not enough damage coming out from the T side. They've still gotten quite a bit done with regards to the scoreline, though, which means that Syman will have quite a bit of an uphill battle to fight. Mo needs to be hitting these shots, but Elian comes out on top. The peak will be there, and Elian has been so consistent. That's the first stopper being gone, and it makes it that much harder for Syman to hold on to dear life. Norbert, now having picked up that AWP, still puts Syman on the double op status, but that will make those retakes harder. Kios, meanwhile, makes their lives a little bit easier, as Elian, the star performer, has been eliminated from the server. Now Winstrike scrambling, try to find some more space, as any space that they previously had has been given up yet again. Now making their way towards Ivy, as Nickelback is soon to join them.
Oh, Kios again just keeping Ivy controlled very nicely. So, and with Mo's fall on AWP has found himself his second, so 40 seconds on the clock, and again a 3 versus 4. Smoke going out towards the connector, and Kios' positioning is excellent. Prison's going to have such a hard time getting past him, and when he's going to be peeking out, he's doing so very slowly, so Kios just finds an easy kill. Nealon now... Meanwhile, actually, Kios is missing a second shot, but Nealon is there to pick things up for him. Nealon's still alive as well, so Nickelback again with the exact same amount of time and the exact same amount of counter-terrorists to deal with. A 1 versus 3, and this time he'll actually go back and save. Picks up some utility as well from his fallen teammate, and will be taking this AK-47 forward into the next one. I honestly expected him to go for damage, but I guess just prioritizing the AK. Their lost bonus isn't that great, so 2,400 in this one. I mean, he will have a buy coming up next, but I don't know. I'm slightly surprised to see that.
He still has $1,500 to go, though.
Indeed.
Which means that he should be able to buy up an AK-47 regardless of the fact that he went for the save there. Not $15. Guys, you cannot buy an AK for $15.
Hopefully. The world we would live in if we could. Give it some time, the T-side economy will get there. Gios. Gios on his up. Very prolific so far towards Ivy. Early damage being dealt, but no red kills coming in. I say that, but that shot was obviously going to come in immediately after.
Yeah, Kios has been so good on that Ivy control. Time and time again, he's able to get those early picks for his team. That being said, can Syman...
Whoa. I think Wild Lady's mic might have cut off, but hey, I'm sure we'll be fine. Nilan, waiting for the big to come in, but he's got an aggressive on his own. Bomb's been dropped, and it's all Mo trying to prevent them from entering the side itself. And sure, they're just eco frags, but very important ones when you lose 0 players on the CT side. This could be the semblance of a bank being built up, and we know what a bank being built up means. A bank being built up means that, hey, maybe, just maybe, you can start to look towards your lucky star, look towards, you know, hey, can we make a comeback happen? Is that really possible? Do we have that in the cards? And I don't want to jinx them yet. I don't want to bring it up yet because it is still a very uphill battle. But with Winstrike continually going for buys like this, which are slightly sketchy as far as utility goes, it's definitely giving them a bit of a chance. However, Alien starts off strong. This time, it won't be Kios to find that first kill. This time, it's Alien to come through on top. 4 versus 5 ensues. And with a minute and a half and a Molotov being chucked over to the top of Pop Dog, Syman was hoping to get some sort of information, some sort of control or sound cues, but unfortunately the player's already inside Pop Dog. So Nealon, now he just sits and waits. 1 minute and 10 seconds on the clock, a 5v4. Lots of smoke still here, so if now the execute comes in from the T side, you're going to have a very hard time when Kios himself is this aggressive towards Ivy. Because Kios, by the time he comes over to block off the terrorists from actually getting onto the bomb site, choke points should be smoked off as it is. I say this, but look at this. Winstrike are winding down the clock even further. Molotov in towards inner will make it very difficult for them to actually move into the B bomb site, but there go out the smokes, there goes out the fake execute. There's already 2 players on B. The bomb's still very much postured to go over towards A, and these players are just going to run down Pop Dog. First kill actually comes out from Lackey though, and that'll be forcing the rotations to come through. Lackey all on his lonesome could win this round. Kios comes in with a nice one, and another from Nealon. A 3 versus 3, where Syman do not have the positioning to be able to contest the bomb from being planted. It should be going down, but Ellen's not planting in a safe spot. Instead, it's in the open. Nealon and Kios can exploit that, and it will be the Syman victory. 9th round on the board, where it looked like Winstrike had found the formula. They were in a 5 versus 3, with Lackey finding that one quick kill, but unfortunately, Kios and Nealon both on that A bomb site, just a little bit too good. And let's not forget, Nealon was not having a good game at all. So this is a big place to start coming in from. $49 and Winstrike. Is this where you start to sweat? Well, they may be sweating, but Kristen is pumping bullets into Mo's head. Kios, again, man, he's been so good. He has been the saving grace in every single round. And sure, it's just an anti-half-Y, but it's important, man. It's important on the CT side.
Oh, Winstrike, they've gotten so much damage done here. Only off of the back of the Eagles. Are they going to be able to capitalize on this? Norbert, he stops the bomb as well, and apparently the USB, it's an assault rifle at this point. That was very similar to a spray transfer.
Oh yeah. I mean, look
so
at
nicely
this.
done.
Oh, tick, 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 tick. Well, 10th round on the board for Syman. The doublest of digitists have been achieved, and this is where maybe we can start whispering to each other in hushed tones about the possibilities of a comeback, because Syman on the CT side have looked like a very different team now that Kios has his hands on the AWP.
Yeah, just solid control being established all across the board. And with only 4 rounds to go, it's still not out of the question just yet. 13-5 was looking very deadly for Syman. But that dominance is slowly going away from Winstrike. Still, the firepower is always going to be a force to be reckoned with. Winstrike slowly making their way around inner. They still have a player positioned towards Ivy because they want that info to be there. But look at this adjustment from Syman coming out. They don't actually have Kios playing towards Ivy. That's a position that has been run to the ground at this point. And this time around, he'll actually get a little bit more aggressive towards mid. Lackey, if he catches wind of this, it could change things tremendously. There's already 2 players from the Syman side on the B side, though. 2 players waiting close to short ladder. Some utility being thrown by Winstrike will mean that the rotation is not there just yet. And with the way the bomb is, looks like it is a decided B take.
Well, Mo's found the first. Cade from Highway might not be expected. Nealon comes in, but Elian is there to refrag away. Cade is untouchable in the meanwhile, and it leaves everything onto Lackey's shoulder. And Lackey, well, there's only so much one man's shoulders can take. Picks up the AWP, will be looking for Kios. Even just finding this kill would be big, but so far no scopes are not connecting. Lackey moves in. Kios comes out on top regardless. I think that was a leg shot, and unfortunately Lackey can't get the kill. So 14-11 and a timeout comes in. Winstrike are not really showing us anything on their T side, to be perfectly honest. Where we have a few moments where, yes, they can... Well, we've had a few moments where they've won some rounds off the back of, Nickelback's Deagle in the pistol round. Most notably, they were able to get the 12-5 lead. But ever since then, Syman have come into their own completely. And I have to say, so much of it looks like Winstrike just doesn't know what to do on the T side.
That does seem to be the case. And it's also just great plays coming out from Syman. And I would also go out on a limb and say that was also a bit of luck from Cade to have that timing down towards Highway. Sure, you can only credit 1 round to that, but Syman sort of have gotten the ball rolling, and things seem to be working out for them. For Cade to be in the right position at the right time to peek out as soon as they all position themselves towards lower, even though a split second earlier if a peek could have meant a world of difference. They aren't exactly having the worst of lucks here. Winstrike now on the Deagles and the CZ75 in the hands of Bondic. Seems to be the case that on the CT side, Syman are very, very dominant. Nealon has picked up the first, with the bomb positioning being the way it is. Does seem to be a B take very soon. Mo picks up the first kill. Flashbang is there for the support. And Cade makes quick work of the T side, and there it is, the 3K. And Syman now only 2 rounds away from tying things up.
The question that now comes in is, what needs to change? And honestly, we're not really seeing Winstrike taking a foray into early picks. They're hoping Syman will make mistakes, and that's playing into Syman's passive style so far. Kios is the only person who's really doing anything at this stage in that regards. And even he, because of the fact that he's actually over towards Ivy, it's not that difficult to isolate out that Ivy player. So, going for some sort of picks by having a player position towards Highway or something. But actually, our Ivy player is now down. Maybe this could be the opening now that man who has very much been the star so far is potentially on the sidelines. D side still opting to posture for the B bomb site.
This should work out for them because Elian, it's been a while since he's gotten a pick, and opening up Ivy just means that Syman has that much more pressure towards A. Just one lone defender on the B-bomb site, should they decide to go through. Nickelback postured towards B with the bomb in his hands. Utility being primed by Winstrike to eventually make their way towards B. The commitment hasn't come out just yet, though. But with only 40 seconds on the clock, we will be seeing something very soon. Syman do not have anything to delay the push. They only have 3 flashbangs, 1 on a player apiece. No Molotov, so the push will be very difficult to hold on to unless they can hit their shots, and layk will do just that. Gets the first kill. The opening kill comes through. Cade is playing around the bomb site. His position is given away. He goes to try to deny the bomb plant, and he does, but not for long. Norbert, 1-on-4, and Elian getting that first pick was exactly the window of opportunity that Winstrike needed to be able to maneuver into a round.
No, but at this point, they have money on the CT side, but that's... Well, honestly, actually, you know what? You can actually go for this. You need to be buying every single round after this. Anyhow, Winstrike's going to be on, map point, and this is very much going to be important, however much Norbert can take away from them. And 2 players kept alive isn't bad for the team side by any stretch of the imagination, but if Bondik was taken down as well, you could have feasibly seen Winstrike somewhat wanting for Molotovs, and that's always a dangerous thought for the T side of Train. You need to be able to molly out in spots like Sandwich, spots like the Z connector at times and whatnot. So, nicely played, but Winstrike, like you mentioned, off the back of Elian's pick, just able to come out on top, 15-12. Ivy seemed to be the point that they needed to solve, and Elian says, you know what, I'll take it into my own hands, but this time his own hands are not going to be enough. Mo will find that early pick off the back of a very good spot.
Great pick coming through, and a second one follows suit. Winstrike, where they sort of look like they were in the driver's seat for a moment, they've immediately been kicked out of the car. 3 players on the Winstrike side now, as they've lost 2 already. And with still 1 minute and 20 seconds on the clock, it is going to be such a difficult battle for them to come back into this. Syman still have a couple Molotovs in their hands, so for Winstrike to bait it out would probably be the ideal situation. Cade, that flashbang won't phase him enough to miss that first kill, but he eventually falls to the second player coming through. Mo looking for the pick around the corner. Flashbang is there, but so is the kill. Prison, 1-on-4, picks up the first flanker, second one as well. Doesn't know there's a play coming through highway, and Mo will net that kill as well. 3 kills for him. And that is such a good job being done.
It did get a little bit touchy in the middle, even though they did get the early 2 kills. Just 2 players kept alive from Syman, obviously not ideal, but like I said before, at this point it doesn't really matter. The buys will be coming out repeatedly from either side as long as bomb plants can be there from Winstrike as well, but this is potentially the last round we might see Winstrike having a solid chance of taking them down because... Well, actually, Bondik's not going for utility. They're going to be going for a very fast play off the back of this. They need to be able to come out on top with it because Bondik without utility is a scary, scary prospect. That means they're already potentially preparing for a potential loss to come out of this round. And although that's always nice to be prepped, but 15-13 in, you want them to see them going all in, balls deep. layk moving forward, hoping to catch someone off, will be caught off instead. Mo so defensive so often, and it's all going to be about Bondik to come through from highway, finds the initial kill. Mo's next to fall. Bondik's got the 2 crucial entries. That could be everything.
Kiaz is still alive though, but because of the position he's in, it'll be so difficult for them to maneuver back into this. Norbert, he's picked up the first, and the retake starts to come in. Kiaz waiting for the oil train player to start to show through. Elian, Molotov primed, and they are in such good positions to stop this retake, but the shot does not come through. Elian does not hit that, even though it looked like it did. Now Nickelback has a huge job on his hands, but he drops the ball. 1-on-3. And apparently the retake starts to succeed, and there it is. Norbert. What a solid job being done. And the fact that he's able to pick up those first 2 kills made a world of difference. Now just 1 round away from bringing it to overtime, Syman will still have quite a bit of pressure on them.
Bondik's 2 kills just not able to be enough despite the perfect well, seemingly perfect entries that are there. And now you do see his decision to save $1,100 coming back and assisting them a little bit. You still have a full buy up the back of the bomb fund and everything. That's lovely, but Elian missing a shot when he's been fairly solid all throughout the game, especially on the CT side. And now the initial duel being taken, Neil and trying to contest for Speedway, but Prison's already heavily tagged, courtesy of some nades and whatnot, and Neil finishes them off.
Winstrike making a quick play towards B. K does not get the spray transfer just yet, and now they're back on the bomb site. Mo missing that shot could be crucial. Elian, he's positioned in the place he wants to be, but we've seen him miss shots from here before. Doesn't quite connect anything just yet. The numbers disadvantage being the way of the T side. Bondic is going to have to come up huge from this close range angle if he wants the team to survive this, if the 16-14 has to come through. But he's taken so much damage. Elian immediately chimes in on the position of the flankers there as well. Kios playing around the train, gets the quick scope, and it's all down to Elian. He has the AWP in his hands. He's slowly getting caved in from all angles. Doesn't spot the first player, but the barrel might have been spotted. Bomb defuse still not coming through just yet. He comes around the corner and he cannot deny it. Syman, with barely any seconds to work off of, they're able to bring it to overtime. And there it is.
Let's not forget, Winstrike started off with a 12-5 advantage. For Syman to bring it back is so incredibly good. And it's also, frankly, very surprising with the way things were materializing in the first half. Mo especially stepping up massively towards the very end of the game. Kios, obviously, we've hopped on and on and on and waxed lyrical about him for good reason, but Mo in the very last few rounds of the game found some crucial kills onto Elian, onto Olaki as well, onto anyone who wanted to enter that A bomb site from T connector, and that was the difference maker. Now Lackey moving forward aggressively. Kios is already down. Lackey's decided that enough is enough. He's the one who'll be taking that secondary AWP forward in the T side, no less. And although Norbert can pick up the AWP fallen over, it will be in exchange for quite a bit of damage.
Lackey getting that first kill despite the carpet Molotovs towards Speedway. Could potentially be huge, and with Crizzen on the case for the push coming through from Nealon, might be able to thwart this attempt at the equalizer as well. Two players watching this. Nealon, though, oh, he might have gotten spotted, picks up the kill, and is able to back off. I'm very surprised by that, because for a second there it looked like the T's might have spotted him, they might have caught wind of him, but that doesn't seem to be the case. Bomb, still all the way back, 50 seconds on the clock, so they can take their time, and Syman seemed to be leaning just a little bit towards the B-bomb site. No play has come out from Winstrike just yet, though. They have a couple of flashbangs, they have 3 smokes, and a dream.
30 seconds on the clock, and they might be woken up rudely. Norbert's down already. The 4v3 ensues, and the A-bomb site should still very much be open for business. Bondic is inching in. Molotov going forward as well, but Nealon, he's going to be the difference maker. He's going to be the linchpin of this site. Mo's already found the one he needed to support. Nealon finds one. Nealon looking for more, and it will be a 2v2. Bomb is down. Nealon's not interrupted in time, and Katie in the background will fall, leaving it all on Mo.
2 angles to work with. Doesn't realize that Bondic is right around the smoke, but that's exactly what works for him because he's able to get the no-scope. Switching over to the AK-47, he just has to find Nickelback, but that's a player that does not miss many shots. Sticking the defuse, Nickelback not peeking just yet. Pros don't fake, and Nickelback knows this. He gets the kill, and it's 16-15 for Winstrike.
Nickelback had cooled down so much going into the second half. You could see it. He went from being about 14-3 to 20-17 now, and honestly, D-side always a little bit harder to, fool around with. But in the meanwhile, while we have a pause, if you guys want to go, find something to do, fool around a little bit, go over to, our Twitter. It's at the Esports Bible. We actually have a pinned tweet, and it gives you a chance to win a very, very cool computer. If you're wondering what computer it is, it's a main gear gaming PC. All you need to do is retweet and participate in Esports Millions to win it. Esports Millions, if you're wondering what that is, it has multiple rounds, and round 2 is live. This time, Unicorn, our betting partners, are offering everyone who participates a chance to win a Main Gear Vibe Stage 3 gaming PC. The top 50 answers also share $5,000 of Unicorn bets. This is all just to lead up to the €1 million giveaway during Cups 3 and 4, though. Anyone who answers all 10 questions right will win the life-changing prize. This is real. Get involved at ukrn.io, and that's ukrn.io/esportsmillions. And Winstrike, I know what they're thinking. Damn it, couldn't that have come through last round?
It's also very interesting to see where the power is coming from now on the Winstrike side. You generally saw Elian being the difference maker, but now layk has really been coming in clutch. Sure, he had quite a few kills early on as well, but now in the overtime, you saw him get so aggressive with that op, and he got 2 quick kills that were able to open up the round for them. That's the kind of thing. That's the kind of thing that they need going for them on this T side that they haven't been particularly strong on. And the one saving grace might be the fact that Syman weren't looking too good on that either. That being said, either team looking to secure the advantage because it has not lost just yet, as far as the half scoreline goes. Kioz playing his bread and butter Ivy position, flashbang to get Elian primed up to take this shot.
Well, he's not feeling confident the same way he was earlier. He's lost quite a few of those duels at this point, so he smokes himself off and will back off. And now that could come back to bite them, because you can see already the Ivy players have repositioned and moved backwards. So whether or not his secondary op is going to be particularly useful there at this point is yet to be seen. Elian just making sure no one's pushing too aggressively towards that T connector. And as I question Keon's ability to put up numbers, if people aren't coming over, people have decided to come over. So that's nice for him.
Still not a casualty on either side. However, the action is about to start as Winstrike start to move towards Ivy. Kioz, that Molotov, will be delaying their push quite a bit. And with only 30 seconds on the clock, this seems like disastrous news for Winstrike, because on a map like Train, there are just so many different angles to be checking that you can't let it get down to the last wire, especially if you haven't gotten the kill. Norbert, meanwhile, he's opened up things for the CT side. Only 20 seconds on the clock. They need to do something fast, and this is where they'll start to push through, but this push will immediately be thwarted. 2 players already falling. Nickelback trying to find the player on the bomb side, but Mo will make quick work of him. Elian, now being left all alone, will also be left alone in his grave. 16-16. Now either side playing for the round advantage.
The question is also now, who makes a move from Winstrike? Because so far, waiting till the clock touches 30 and hoping you can stumble onto a bomb site and make it work has not worked for them. And for good reason. It's because Syman's been hitting all of their shots, and Syman's been saving the utility to some extent for later on in the rounds. Winstrike need to look to exploit that, and that's why you see 3 players coming out from Pop Dog early on, but Norbert's already here to intercept. Norbert gets too aggressive after he gets the first and will be taken down. He was afraid of being caught while he was retreating backwards. Keels now on the AWP, and a Molotov in front of them will set up for Neelan to find another one as, well, actually, Cade thought he'd be able to get that one, but although he's coming in for the flank, he can't quite get it. The bomb isn't with them, though. That's the problem.
Ooh, that's right. For a second there, I thought they might have been able to take the bomb towards B, but with all 3 players on the A site, man, oh man, Syman, they put the ball in their court. They do not need to worry about this round anymore. Oh, scratch that. Bondic still alive and kicking, and Mo will stop those feet right there.
Syman finding the advantage is key to them, because Winstrike, I have to say that the kinds of shots that they were hitting on the CT side, the kind of form that they were in CT side, it doesn't look like it should be able to come through. I'll give Elian the benefit of the doubt. I think Elian might still be able to, because a lot of his mitigation on the terrorist side is just because you're on the terrorist side and he's so difficult to op. And it seemed like he was excelling in the defensive style of opping of CT's side. But Nickelback was the player who was right there with him neck to neck, taking things forward, just multi-kill after multi-kill. And he's not been the same player in the past few rounds. So my question is whether or not he can bring things back, because Syman, at this stage, with that advantage, you could see them running away with this very easily. Alien hoping to contest where, you know, there's been a lot of success found for Kios. No double up from Winstrike, surprisingly enough. And with a minute and a half, the question is, what do they want to do? They're playing 2 players on the B-bomb side. Will that work out for them?
Syman still playing this very slow, and that's one shot that Alien could not have afforded to miss. Opening up so much space for the Syman side. And now, slowly make their way towards Ivy. Flashbang comes out. Lots of space has been created, so Winstrike aren't feeling too comfortable. Norbert looking around. This might just mean that Kristen will be able to catch him. Well, the timing is not quite there. Giving up his position, he realized that he needs to back off. Syman with the man advantage, with still 40 seconds on the clock, and all the control that they could possibly need all across the map. They're looking to take it to 18. Flashbang avoided by Bondic, but the bullets will not be. Norbert starts to move in. The SL push, the A main push. Just so many angles for Nickelback to deal with, but he picks up one regardless. 2 versus 3. Bomb has yet to go down. Lackey peeks around the corner, but Kios will come out on top with his AWP. Prison 1-on-2. He's getting pincered in from these 2 players, and there is no way he can split his barrel in half and shoot 2 people at once.
That was such a nice way to catch Bondic off as well, because Bondic has showed before that he likes to play towards the midway area of the Pop Dog room. So when the flashbang is forced forward, they're expecting him to actually move in towards the ladder, because Bondic has found a few kills doing that in regulation. Unfortunately, Bondic isn't ready for the second player, who's just immediately decapitating him and slicing his head off. And that was just a really nice flashbang to bait out his movement to do that. So props to them for finding him, because that was the difference-making kill. Obviously, Alien going down in the beginning isn't ideal, but Bondic from Pop Dog has been a linchpin so many times and has been such a deadly threat. Alien, again, in an angle where he really can't afford to miss, and he might be forced to, because the run boost comes in. From the other side, it's Kios to take a peek, and Alien, although he's got some backup, this will be a double-made kill to come through, allowing Lackey to take it away.
It's still not done for Winstrike just yet. After a very long time, they seem to have gotten the man advantage early on, but Syman, they're looking to make a play towards B. Nickelback makes good use of that AWP as he's good for 2. And 2 will be all that remains on the Syman side. Making their way towards A main. They have yet to get a player, and with Alien towards the bomb side and only 1 flashbang, it'll be so difficult for them to even get any damage done. And that's not what matters. When you're in overtime, the damage won't matter. So they're looking to take the round, but Nealon left in a 1-on-4. Bomb behind the electric box means that there's realistically no way that he gets this round, and he's just hoping to die before the time.
Oh, that's such a nice
cute attempt at a 1-tap block.
Yeah. It's always good to see a CT player finding some sort of confidence to take a peek like that in Bondic, though, after they've been pummeled in the second half. And I know if you're tuning in right now, you're thinking, overtime, T-Time, what are you talking about? They weren't pummeled. Oh, they were pummeled. They went from 12-5 to 15-15, and then now still fighting up against map point for Syman. This is going to be an uphill battle continuously. Winstrike, so far, they have impressed us on certain points. Nickelback not on the secondary op this time, funnily enough. It is Lackey on it yet again. Maybe it's a positional thing. Maybe it's just doing it off the cuff. But hey, I like Lackey on the op anyway. I think he's very aggressive, and I always like that in an opper.
Winstrike, they're looking to take it to double overtime. But Syman's player is being positioned towards B. It'll be very difficult for Winstrike to hold on to this, because you have to keep in mind that they only have 1 player towards B. Still not a decided take just yet. There are a few signs that suggest that they might go towards B. Bondic picks up the first kill. That's a bit of an advantage for Winstrike, but that being said, Syman, they've managed to creep behind enemy lines. They've already made their way towards B, and Nealon will be in the perfect position to take this. Mao, though, is able to pick up a kill for himself. It's a 4 versus 3. And Syman still have to fight it to stop it from going to the overtime.
I mean, you've got the bomb down. You've got a smoke down to cover for the flank for now. It all comes down to what Keels can do. Keels is moving in. Oh, hold that thought. Mo misses that shot. But Keels, he should be able to find 2 over here. He knows where Lackey is as well. Lackey drops down and Nickelback turns around, leaving it all on Nealon's shoulders. A 1v4 and Nealon just revealed his position as well. Comes through with one, repositions for another. This is suddenly doable. Nickelback is going to be able to save the day, but Nealon, what an attempt from him. Could have actually run away with that. Could have actually pulled off the 1v4, but unfortunately just didn't have the HP to prevent Nickelback from pre-firing him around the corner.
That flank was so essential, but the fact that Nickelback was able to pick that up regardless of having a gun pointed directly at his head, to save pointing, he had a gun pressing up against his forehead, and he still managed to win out that kill. So Winstrike, hanging by a thread, they're able to take it to double overtime, and now they're starting off on, well, arguably their stronger side. Not just the map stronger side. You also have to keep in mind that Syman weren't looking too good on their T side either, and the tactical timeout comes through.
Not very many of these so far in the game, but, well, Winstrike, honestly, they need 3 rounds. Their T side is really bad.
Yeah, the 1 round they were able to secure on their T side in the previous overtime half was off of the back of Lackey getting very aggressive towards Speedway and getting a kill through the fire and flames.
Let's also just, I want to shout Lackey with some love because he's sitting on 30 kills right now. And again, it's been a long game, so I know a lot of people probably missed in the first few rounds, but Alien and Nickelback were both sitting around at 15 kills. I'd like to say 12 rounds into it. The rest of the team was nowhere close. Winstrike was being hard carried by those 2 players. And now when you look at things, those are the ones who've quieted down like nothing else, while Lackey, he's the only person to have hit 30 so far.
And that's a very worrisome sight. When you consider the fact that Nickelback and Alien, they haven't quite chimed in after those first few rounds. Sure, it's nice to get that bit of insurance, that bit of guarantee for your team when you get those early rounds, but if you stop chiming in, a comeback is sure to follow.
Well, Flash is moving in, Nealon's completely blind, but he's already got an aggressive early in. Mo's got the first, and already not a promising start to things, as Nealon will be able to scout out the second. Alien will fall with only a single kill, and although Nickelback can reposition to try for more attempts, will not succeed, and it leaves Prison alone in a 1v3. Syman have found their pace, and it is damn quick.
Prison, despite Winstrike getting that early pick off of Nickelback, unfortunately they're not able to really capitalize on it. Now Syman, they end up on the front end. They get the advantage. And I feel like Syman is one of these teams that pull this off very often. Even when we were casting their game against Aviz a little while back, we saw how close they let the game get, and then they just go for the comeback and they make it look easy as ever, which is something that is very worrying for Winstrike at the moment. They don't have an amazing T side, and when they start dropping the ball on the CT side, that's where it truly gets worrying, because you cannot expect that star power to keep pulling through. While on the other hand, Syman, if anything, as the game goes on, it feels like their players are getting more and more fired up. Everyone's starting to chime in. Not a single player that hasn't gotten work done. Syman quickly sending a player towards Speedway, who does not find success because Lackey is running and gunning with that AUG. That being said, advantage has been given to the Winstrike side, but there's still quite a bit of time to go.
Oh no, Kios has already found Elian as well, so 4v4 and in the worst possible way. Kios even picks up the AWP and we know how deadly he can be with it as he takes down Nickelback as well as moving forward, but misses that shot and will fall because of it. The bomb's already been guaranteed to plant though, and it's in such a tricky spot. Cade, so aggressive, can cut these players off and with them their heads.
Perfect positioning from Syman. This 2 versus 3 retake will be next to impossible. Nealon picks up the first, and despite Lackey getting 2 very early kills, we see again that Winstrike are on the back foot.
On the CT side, no less. That is...
That's the biggest... That's not a question mark. That's an exclamation mark there. Because it is so worrying to see them struggle on their CT side when they've been phenomenal when they were playing in regulation. Now, Syman look a little bit different on the T side. As I said, their star power keeps chiming in. They keep having everybody contributing to the game. And meanwhile, Winstrike, it feels like the average skill across the board, I wouldn't say skill, but the average performance across the board, it seems to drop a little bit. And they rely more and more on that one player to pop off. And that hasn't happened just yet on the CT side. Even when it does happen just a little bit, where, let's say, we saw Nickelback get a couple kills. We saw Prison get a couple kills. Sorry, Lackey. They weren't really able to capitalize on it.
Well, the full barrage of utility going out towards the B-bomb site, and Syman, they are looking to enter, but they can still actually move back. There's a minute left on the clock. Kios is waiting and watching for a flank, and they are very committed, flashing themselves in. Nickelback's found the first. Crazen as well, trying to respond, but Nealon and Mo are the ones to entry onto the bomb site, guarantee the bomb plant. Nickelback's grenade will find the kill, but not prevent the bomb from being planted, but Nickelback's not done yet. 3 kills on the board for him. Mo fighting back, but not successfully. Still, there is a Molotov, there is a grenade in the hand of Kios. This is not an easy retake. Their smokes will be important, but what will the CTs do should they be naded and sprayed down?
Oh, this smoke will be essential because they've denied the Molotov, and the player from Highway will go down. That's the round for Winstrike, and that is one that they desperately needed if they want to get anything done on the T side. That being said, this is such a difficult prospect for Winstrike to look forward to. Not the best of terrorist sides, and they haven't really had that individual power really chime through. I can't take credit away from Nickelback though, because of how powerful he's been in keeping this team alive in this game. Sure, Syman do have the lead now, but it's never too late for some of the Winstrike players to start hard carrying.
Oh, Nickelback's definitely started performing again come the overtime. Now, of course, that just shows even more there might just be a problem for Nickelback to play on the T side. And again, he's a stand-in. Let's never forget that. I will give him an infinite amount of leeway. And unfortunately, that's not true for Crisman, as he does go down to Nealon's early shots. Winstrike, man down, rounds down, and chances are dwindling away for them to get themselves another map point. Kios on the AWP, so difficult to deal with so far, and no reason to expect that to change. Great flashbang comes in, the peak is late, and because of that, Nealon will not get the kill and instead will fall. Smoke comes out to block away Kios' line of sight, but with the 4v4 for the CT side, the T's can look to pincer in and take down Norbert.
They haven't quite committed to anything just yet. Winstrike, at the very least, they were able to pick up the equalizer after what happened early on. For Lackey, his position will be essential, and so will his kill. He's picked up the first, immediately gets refragged by Norbert. Mo needs to be hitting these shots if he wants to close out this overtime. Molotov comes out, that will deny the short ladder push, but Bondic is too quick for it. He will push out through the smoke, but Norbert is there in the front lines. He's picked up Nickelback. Elian isn't good for one just yet. He's coming around the corner. Bondic, so up close and personal, has killed the player in Connector, and Elian follows suit. That just leaves Cade in a 1 versus 2. AUG, no less. That's the weapon he wants, because he's up against these 2 varying ranges. Somehow is able to turn around as well And that second kill, how does that happen?
I mean, look at this replay. Just Cade coming in, single-handedly saving the day with the AUG, and that's where the AUG's, you know, minute buffs on its unscoped accuracy can actually be quite important when you're dealing with players on close range angles who are, you know, maybe a little bit too far apart, so spray transfers and whatnot would in the past not really have worked out, although no one really sprays with the AUG in all fairness. 1:40 on the clock. Nade to fly through, should be good damage, but unfortunately doesn't quite catch the timing. And Winstrike down to map points. This is going to be very, very difficult for them to bring it back, especially given their track record on the T side has not been great.
Yeah, the one round they could have pieced together was the previous round, but Cade coming in clutch is very detrimental to the future of this map. Ooh, Nealon's position around the smoke. He goes for the spray. He's able to pick up 2. Doesn't even realize that he's firing away at Prison. But that kill will materialize. Winstrike once again fighting for their lives as Syman just need one round to be able to cross the finish line. This is not the final finish line though, because there's still a couple maps to go. Winstrike weren't really favored to win this map regardless, but with such a strong performance early on, we're really hoping to see something a little better. Overtime looking like it is about to end as Norbert picks up the kill towards short ladder. Bond and Kelly and Elian now left in the 2 versus 5.
Now Mo finds 1, finds 2, and that'll be it. 22-19. Syman somehow managed to sneak that map away. It looked like it would be impossible. 12-5 was how Winstrike started things off, and that is just that. With that being said, though, we'll be coming back with the next map. It'll be Nuke. That's Winstrike's map pick. Syman do win out their own, but it is in very close fashion. And let's see whether or not they can put up a fight on Nuke. We'll be back in just a bit.
Initialize booting. These are your targets. You must find, capture and contain them until extraction vehicle arrives. Witnesses are irrelevant. Leave them unharmed if you can. End of a transmission. system online.
Journeys into modern time.